Hey, you're hanging out in the Link Up Lounge. I'm Tiffany Mason.
And I'm Donna Ruppel. Around here, we believe success isn't just about what you know, it's about who you link up with. This is your lounge for turning one link into endless opportunities.
Donna, it blows my mind that the two of us have over 30 years of combined networking experience.
I know! We've built businesses, expanded networks, and created unstoppable momentum, all through the power of strategic connections.
AKA networking. And now we're here to guide you to do the same, starting today.
So let's dive in, connect, and start making moves you didn't even know were possible.
Welcome back to the Link Up Lounge. I'm Tiffany Mason of Virtually You, the boutique podcast management agency, and I'm here with my co-host, Donna Ruppel, your Nocatee real estate expert.
This is your lounge for turning one link into endless opportunities. And today, we're pulling back the curtain on LinkedIn. Because when most people think about LinkedIn, they think about resumes, job hunting, or posting content that gets very few likes and really, quite honestly, probably just disappears, or you don't even know where to find it, right? But the people who consistently generate opportunities from LinkedIn are using it very differently. They're using it to build relationships and stay visible and to create conversations behind the scenes. So today we're talking about what successful people are actually doing on LinkedIn and how you can do it too. I think LinkedIn gets misunderstood. I know I really don't use it the right way because I think of it as like Instagram or Facebook, right? Where I know I should be on it, right? And I think a lot of people, especially when you're in that corporate professional world, you know you should be on it, right? But you don't really know what to do with it or don't really know how to use it correctly. A lot of people think they need to post every single day in LinkedIn, become an industry expert overnight, or they feel like LinkedIn is only for a certain sect in the professional world. Like I think about LinkedIn as for corporate people looking for corporate jobs. Like I do think of LinkedIn as like for job seekers or
I used to think of that before I did podcasting. And then there was a whole, class or whatever at PodFest about using LinkedIn to promote your podcast. And then that really opened my eyes like, oh, okay. Yeah. So like everybody can be using LinkedIn.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, these college kids are taught to put their profiles up on LinkedIn and create their own persona and all of that and do some stuff on LinkedIn for purposes of finding a job. So that's probably why I thought of it as like job seeking. But the reality is most opportunities on LinkedIn don't come from posting something that goes viral. They come from being visible and building relationships consistently over time.
Exactly, because the people that are getting the best results aren't necessarily spending hours creating content. They're spending the time connecting with people. They're commenting, messaging, congratulating, following up, staying engaged with their network. I love when you do go into react to anybody's thing that it lets you choose like clapping hands or it lets you choose a couple of different reactions that they don't have on the other social medias. Because sometimes it is like the automatic, like so-and-so's been at this job for 12 years, like great. Okay. There's a clapping for that, I think. Or, they're going to host a seminar or they're going to be a speaker somewhere. Those are all great things, but it doesn't really warrant like a heart, right? Like I'm not going to love that, but I would clap about that. So I do love that you get a couple different little reactions that you can choose. And the other thing that I would say is I do like that you get to celebrate business milestones. I think that that's pretty cool. Or, starting a new job. It's kind of interesting to be like, oh, okay, so this person is starting over there. I didn't realize that that was something that they did. You kind of know them from a previous networking situation where you've encountered them or where you've connected with them. So along with the clapping hands, I also like that when you get ready to repost, first of all, there's no stories. So you're just resharing to your wall, but you get to repost and it says, do you want to just repost it or do you want to repost with your own comments? And I kind of like that because sometimes I know if somebody's talking about something in the podcasting space, I want to repost and add my own 2 cents so that I also look like I know what I'm talking about. So I do love that, aspect of it. And then when it comes to the engagement piece of it, I think that I feel like there's a lot more DMing, but not like, hey, good looking lady. It's more like DMing in the sense of like, I want to collaborate on this. I didn't realize you did this. Can we grab coffee sometime? It's another way, another connection point. I would say half of my podcast clients, the social handle that they want to share for the people that they're interviewing are LinkedIn profiles. But what we learned through LinkedIn is that while the content is important, it's kind of just the starting off point for us. Whereas like on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, where, you're engaged with the actual content. This is kind of like, I'm here, which allows me, or not really allows me, because you can allow
Enables?
you're allowed on the other platforms too, but it's almost like the intention is engagement, like the intention on social media used to be to engage. Now it's to scroll. But I don't think people are going to LinkedIn to scroll. I think it's very intentional still. And then as far as who we're connecting with or the engagement, I feel like there's a lot more trust, right? Like it's kind of like when you're getting ready to refer somebody, you don't want to just refer anybody, and you don't want to just accept any connection on LinkedIn. I feel like you're a lot more selective with who you're collaborating with, connecting with, because you are kind of being intentional. There's an intention behind that connection. Whereas sometimes, I mean, honestly, on Instagram or Facebook, if I see they're friends with you, I'm like, I don't know, Donna knows them. Should be fine.
Right.
Except,
100%. Yeah. Right.
But I'm not really doing that on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn,
Right.
I'm like, does this make sense for my business? No, it does not. Okay, then I don't want to connect.
Right.
Or, like,
Totally.
let me connect with this person,
Yeah. One of the biggest shifts people need to make is seeing LinkedIn as a relationship platform instead of a content platform. I mean, that's a big switch, because when you think of social media,
Yes.
LinkedIn gets grouped in this social media category, but it's really very, very different.
Should we call it professional media?
Yeah, really. I mean, because, we can say they're all different, right? And they all are different in their own ways, and we can talk about that. Really, the difference is that LinkedIn is about relationships. And so if you just go and post in LinkedIn and you don't go in and do any of the relationship building, you're not really getting any of the benefit of LinkedIn. You want to think about, all the notifications that LinkedIn gives you every day. Someone got promoted, like you said. Someone started a new job. I love seeing those. Someone celebrated a work anniversary. Sometimes I'm like, wow, 18 years? How has it been 18 years? I think I'm still 25.
It's so rare anymore.
Right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
If you congratulate people on those, it's telling them, number one, you saw it. And number two, you care enough to reach out and just say clappy hands or congratulations or whatever. And then I believe the algorithm is going to connect you more with those people in their posts, and they're going to see your posts more and all that kind of stuff because you've commented on something for them. It also puts you, in their thoughts, right? Because when somebody comments on something of mine, I go, "Oh, they saw my stuff. Oh, they commented. Oh, they congratulated me." And I notice it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's some people where it's like, I notice that they constantly comment on everything on LinkedIn. And that person, I'm like, there's like 3 people like that, right? And I'm like, oh, they
there used to be a strategy on Facebook to go into the Facebook pages that you kind of specialized on and comment a lot on them. And I think the Facebook groups are getting so bogged down and so overwhelmed. There's like 60 plus, that I am a part of for podcasting.
Right.
Do I comment in any of them? No, because it's overwhelming for me. But if I just go on LinkedIn and I see the people I know that are in podcasting talking about podcasting, then I comment on things about podcasting. And in those groups, it could be like 100 people comment. But on LinkedIn, you're going to get like 20 max. There's not a lot of, there's quality over quantity is what I will say for commenting.
Yes. So I do think successful networkers see LinkedIn and those moments like promotions, new jobs, work anniversaries very differently. They see them as opportunities to strengthen a relationship. Like a simple congratulatory message takes less than a minute, but it shows you're paying attention, you're seeing them, and you're excited for whatever milestone, that they just hit. I mean, I have gotten reconnected to some old connections from when I lived in Maryland. So, 2 decades ago, because I see a work anniversary or I see that they got a new job, and it gives me an opportunity to reach out to them and do a message and just be like, hey, I see this happen. That's so exciting. How are you? How have you been doing? It's just a, a much more relationship based platform in a professional sense.
We talked about asking people in networking events about their family, their career, their hobbies, those kind of things. And this is one of those touch points. This lets us talk to them about what's going on in their professional life. So if you
Mhm.
haven't talked to them for a while and all of a sudden they post a new job or a, anniversary or whatever, hey, that's your door in to reconnect and start that conversation again. Those little touch points matter so much more than people even realize.
Mhm.
Once you say something on the job and it's a person that you are trying to intentionally connect with, it could be like, how's the new job going? I thought maybe we'd grab coffee and you can tell me all about it, that kind of thing. I know the one thing that I see successful people doing all the time is nurturing the relationships before they need them.
Mm.
Keep talking to people. I mean, this literally just played out this weekend where I interviewed an artist and I was talking to him, and then turns out there was something with me being in Nashville that I was able to reach out to him and say, "Hey, could you help me out with this thing?" And then he was like, "Of course, no problem." But had I not continued to repost some of his stuff or reach out to him or comment on some of his stuff, I wouldn't have had that natural door open to have the conversation to ask for the favor. So nurture those relationships before you need something from them because like we've said before, networking is very reciprocal. You don't have to wait until you need a referral or an introduction. You're just investing in that relationship long before you need anything from them. There's just a lot of value in building the relationships and keeping them going. You just every time I get somebody's phone number, I put it in my phone and I always think, I never know when I'm going to need it, if I'm going to need it. And I'll tell you what, that has come in so handy. Don't be afraid to keep the pot simmering with all these
Mhm.
relationships.
Yeah. And so true. I mean, LinkedIn is a great tool to do that, but that is something that's true across the board when it comes to
Yeah.
networking.
Yeah. Well, and here's something that really surprises people. Some of the best networking on LinkedIn happens actually in the commenting section. People think that they need to post constantly to get noticed, but often comments are where the relationships are taking place, where maybe we both comment on something and then I kind of get snoopy and I'm like, well, what does that person do? And I'm like, oh, they do that too. So like you being a realtor, you could comment on somebody being a general contractor, and then three other people comment and you kind of go check out what they do, and oh, these are other general contractors. Now you've got a list of four general contractors, and if they're praising the person that you already knew, now like there's a good potential that that's a good connection too. So another person that in a pinch maybe you could reach out to. So you're commenting a whole bunch, they're commenting, you're getting to make the connection, have a little bit of visibility. It's low pressure networking, you know? If
Mhm.
you want to reach out to them, you can. And if not, you just pass on that one. You don't have to create content. You're just simply reaching out and building familiarity that you're commenting on things that hopefully people are seeing multiple times and saying, okay, this person clearly is a realtor because they're always talking about stuff related to real estate. Let me see what they do. Let me see, if it's somebody I'd want to have in my back pocket for a conversation I could be having later on. When you leave a thoughtful comment, you're not just talking to the person who made the post, you're actually becoming visible to their audience too. You are networking.
Yes. And that is such an important distinction because not all engagement is equal, right? The goal isn't to leave more comments or
It's like when we talked about the person, you don't remember the person that goes around the room handing out all their business cards.
right? Right?
Mhm.
It's to leave a better comment, like a thoughtful response demonstrates really that you're paying attention to what they posted, but also who they are and what they're doing. And it's not just the purpose of um, making a comment for self promotion. It's
It's kind of
adding
that quality
value.
over quantity. Yeah,
Yes.
adding value. Yeah.
It's adding value, it's starting conversations, it's building credibility, and all of those things show expertise naturally. I've seen collaborations, referrals, podcast guests, business opportunities start because someone left a meaningful comment and continued the conversation afterwards.
Yes, you're bringing to mind actually during COVID, I found a networking group on LinkedIn. We had a Zoom link that we would all go on. Anyhow, I made a really good connection with one of the gentlemen. That was 6 years ago because we're in 2026. And would you believe he just became a podcast client of mine? So,
Oh my
it's like
gosh.
we say, yeah, it's like we say that you just never know when that person's going to need you or you're going to need them. So just to keep it going. And the way that we kept that going was probably 2 years after COVID ended or 2 years after COVID started. We continued to congratulate each other in the group and comment on things. And actually, one other person from that group I'm in the process of launching their podcast right now, too. I kind of forgot about that.
Oh my
So it's been
gosh.
kind of a really cool full circle. But
Yeah.
it's really fun to see them comment on each other's posts. Or there's this lady that was in our group and she sold socks. She just made different designs on socks. During COVID, she actually had a spike in her business, like did great. And it was so good to see how they commented. And let me tell you what, it's not like Facebook. It's not like Instagram. It's like, I'm so proud of you. I know you've been working on 3 designs and it's so cool to see that you got these launched and blah, 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 blah. And it was
Right.
a really thoughtful comment. And I'm telling you, it's quality over quantity. You may not get a ton of comments, but the ones that you get are not just like, that's great. No,
Yeah.
it's somebody who knows you and they're really adding value in their comment.
Yeah, I think one reason people tend to avoid LinkedIn is because they assume it requires a huge time commitment. They don't really maybe understand the platform because it is different than the other social media platforms in how you post and where you find your profile. It's all just a little bit different. And so I
Yeah.
think it intimidates some people and they kind of avoid LinkedIn because they're like, and I get no traction on my posts and those kind of things because they're comparing it to the other social media platforms, but it is not the same.
hmm Well, really quick, if I can interject. If you have a podcast, your podcast downloads are not even remotely close to social media. So someone will start a podcast and they're like, I don't know, Tiffany, I'm not doing very good. I only got 100 downloads. I'm like, you got 100 downloads of people who chose to listen to you and they listened for the duration of your episode and heard every word you were going to say without thinking about what their reply was going to be in the conversation. And it's kind of the same way with LinkedIn, that these people are coming to you, they're replying, they're giving a quality comment. And so it's a more thoughtful one, but it's not a more time consuming one. But you've done this like breadcrumb networking, commenting, congratulating kind of rhythm.
hmm
It's so different than the other two. But yes, you're right. We definitely whip them together.
Yeah, we do. And then people get frustrated because LinkedIn isn't the same platform as the others and you're not getting the same amount of comments or things like that. And so a lot of people throw in the towel and just say LinkedIn isn't my thing and I need to go to Instagram or TikTok or whatever. But at the end of the day, successful people on LinkedIn are not spending hours every day creating content, right? And managing their profile. That is not what they're doing. Successful
That should be
people.
our draw. That should be our draw. We should be like, because I don't think that the thing on LinkedIn is like, oh, they want to see your face, which it is on Facebook and Instagram.
Right.
I think you can get away with a lot less FaceTime
Yeah,
if you
for
go on
sure.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, because
There's no reels. You don't have to do all that
right,
time consuming stuff.
right. I know my husband is on LinkedIn, obviously, because he is an intellectual property corporate attorney, and he puts some really great content out on LinkedIn that is not him dancing and not him doing anything like that. It's, posting or reposting articles on topics that are relevant to his industry with comments, like you said. It doesn't even have to be your own stuff. You can
No,
literally
you can just
find,
repost.
right? And repost with your own comments. And you look like industry expert that you just read that long, boring intellectual property article and you reposted it with your comments showing that you're up on everything going on in the industry, blah, blah, blah. So I think people are just overcomplicating LinkedIn. Like if you had 15 minutes don't go in and post something on LinkedIn. Go in and make comments on other people's posts on LinkedIn and see where it gets you. Because the reality is that most successful professionals are simply consistent. They show up regularly, they participate, and that is how they stay visible.
I know too that there's a behavior with LinkedIn. It is the platform that people spend the shortest amount of time on because it is business professionals. So they get on the platform, they do their interaction, if they're going to do a post or a repost, and they get off and they get back to business. If they tell you there's a prime time of day in LinkedIn, I'd probably believe it. And when they say there's a prime time of day on Facebook or Instagram, I'm like, whatever. Everybody's on it always. So I'm not going to worry about that.
Right.
But LinkedIn, I do.
Yeah.
Because I do believe that, I know that that is the platform that people spend the least amount of time on because you get on, you do it's like work. You get on, you do your work, and you get off. LinkedIn is a lot like kind of an ongoing networking event. Like imagine walking into the room and you see all these professionals and you get to decide, do I want to network within a specific category? Do I want to look for a new job opportunity? What do I want to do? And I love too that in LinkedIn, you can put like your experiences or anything that you have going on and you can kind of feature them. That's kind of a cool thing too, where you can highlight something about yourself professionally. So that's exactly what successful people do. It's surprisingly simple, you guys. Don't overcomplicate it. Get on, make your few comments, see your people, get off. Those small actions compound over time. I would suggest that maybe you connect with 3 people each week. Maybe you comment on 5 different posts, send 2 messages, create a post. You are not required or not expected to post or comment nearly as much as on I would say the socials. This is the professional. Those are the socials.
So yes, if LinkedIn has felt overwhelming, don't make it harder than it needs to be. You don't need thousands of followers. You don't need a perfect post even. You don't need a perfectly curated profile. And you definitely should not be seeking some sort of viral status. That doesn't really exist on
Wrong
LinkedIn.
platform.
You want to go in, as we've said, make comments, start conversations, consistency over intensity. If you're not on LinkedIn, build a profile, start poking around. The people winning on LinkedIn are often doing very simple things exceptionally well.
At the end of the day, LinkedIn is still networking. It just happens to be online. So relations create opportunities. Visibility creates familiarity. Familiarity creates trust. And trust creates referrals, partnerships, collaborations, and business, which we're all trying to do. So just remember relationships first, long-term mindset. We're not trying to get a sale. We're not hopping on LinkedIn and hoping to sell a house. Okay. You're playing the long game. And trust is the ultimate goal.
Yes. So this week's networking mode on tip. Spend 15 minutes on LinkedIn this week and do 3 things. Leave 1 thoughtful comment, send 1 genuine message, and make 1 new connection. Don't sell, don't pitch, don't ask for anything. Just start a conversation. Networking mode on.
Open LinkedIn after this episode and reconnect with someone you've been meaning to reach out to. Then send us a quick text using the link in the show notes to tell us who you contacted and why. We'd love to hear how you're putting these ideas into action. Let's keep building those powerful links together.
You've been hanging out in the Link Up Lounge, your lounge for turning one link into endless opportunities.
Now it's your turn. Go make a powerful link today.
Networking mode on.